Hey guys, Tarvin Cyclone FPV. We have an RMA here. I'm gonna go ahead and open this camera up. Let me see. So the RMA today is, it's regarding one of our flight controllers. I believe it's the JHD-MCU, but I'm not sure. I'm gonna go ahead and just check, and I'll open this, I'll open the details on this in just a little bit. Let me go ahead and just open the box up. Keep everything kind of private here. So let's put the box aside, make sure there's no personal information wrapped in this piece of paper. Okay, so this is going to be the JHD-MCU. Oh no, sorry, this is the nameless. My apologies. This is the nameless AIO. So let's see. This is. I did a video on this one actually. This is the 412. Is that right? 412T. I did one on the 412, not the T version, but it was on how to update the firmware. So the customer says that when he gets this, he cannot get it to function in Betaflight, not upgrade in Betaflight properly, and it just kind of hangs. So I ended up doing a video on this. So I'm going to split this screen up 3 ways. 1, 2, nope, 1, 2, 3. There we go. This way you can see, including my ugly face. Ready? So here we go. First thing we're going to do is we're just going to plug this in and make sure that we can even see it in Betaflight to begin with. So let's do that first. Okay, there it is. We have our port open, and we can click connect. And there we have everything that we need. Okay. Excellent. Now, we're going to go to, just like the video that we did from the tutorial for this board, we're going to go to our CLI and we're going to type the word version and see what we're running with. And we're running with the Maytech F411. So we're going to go to update the firmware. But here was the key with this one. If you just try to update the firmware, right? Let's just go to Maytech F411. I'll show you. So if you go to Maytech F411, oh, that's my bad. Maytech F411. Right there. Okay. And you click load firmware. And then you click flash firmware. This is going to hang just like that. All the lights turn off, nothing works. Okay. So we did this before, and we'll have to disconnect it and then reconnect it. And then it'll come back. You'll see the COM port pop back up like normal. Okay. So there you go, right? So here's what the instruction was. Basically, here's your bind button right here. You need to hold that bind button down, and you need to plug in your USB. Okay. Let me get this right. Hold on. Okay. There you go. You see how it's in DFU mode now? So it went straight into DFU mode. And from there, we can click load firmware and flash firmware, and it's going to automatically do it and get everything done. So I'm not sure why the customer is saying he couldn't get it to work, and I understand that. But the board is working. We are able to flash it with no problem, and so we'll be most likely sending this back to the customer with the firmware update being done. Guys, I will tell you that it took me 3 tries to do the first one, and it took me twice on this one because trying to hold that little button in here. Let me just split this like this. Save us the hassle. See, so what we have is this little tiny button, right? That little button right there, okay? And I got some fat fingers, so when I try to press that down, it's like I think I'm still pressing it, but I'm not, and so it can get kind of be a pain in the butt, but it does work, okay? And if you're not getting the DFU mode, then it's because you are either you don't have the right drivers loaded. Hold on, let me switch this back. There we go. All right, so you can see it right here, right? So it's either you don't have the right drivers loaded, or you need to do a little bit more work on the computer to get the DFU settings set, whatever it may be. Chances are it's most likely not going to be the board. Now I unplug this, and as you can see here, I'm going to plug it back in. Okay, and I'm going to connect. I'll apply the custom defaults, and you can see here all the lights are blinking, everything's looking good. And we're going to connect, and we're going to do the accelerometer. We'll just go ahead and calibrate it for now just to make sure. Reset the Z-axis, and you're all good. Okay, so please, by all means, make sure that you follow that, and make sure you do press make sure you do get to that bind or boot button right there because that will be the reason it doesn't work. So there you go. It's a quick RMA. There's nothing wrong with the board. The board itself is working great. I know the customer had a hard time, and I have a feeling that he was having a hard time getting the button to recognize. Now, another option, sorry, before I even end this video, let me just kind of give you an idea here of when I get to this point, and it's like no matter what, I cannot get it to plug properly and hold the button down and do all that. The next best option is to do this, right? So let me just do this. Next best option. So here's my USB cable, right? I have it on an extension. So the next best thing to do is to sit here and disconnect your USB from this side. Go ahead and prep it into here, get it ready right here, because it is a lot harder to plug in this micro USB than it is to plug in a big one like this. Then go ahead and just press the button down and make sure you have it down. Now I can take, for example, the flip side of one of my, let's just say I take the flip side of one of my tweezers here, right? Or something, anything. I can feel it pressing right there, okay? So what I'm gonna do, and I'll just now make the screens like this, or you could take a, I don't know, like a wider hex screwdriver, or whatever it may be, right? Something that can get you a solid connection out of there, right? And I'm gonna try to find something. I prefer going something like, I don't know, anything like this, okay? So anyways, once you find your item that you wanna use, I'll use my ceramic tweezers for a final. It's pressed down. It's much easier for me to come over here and plug this in like that. Okay, hold on. That's great. It's harder for me to do this apparently. Now let's try this again. See, and I'm in DFU mode. So either way, I don't know, guys. I mean, either way, it works. There's nothing wrong with the board itself. I think it's just the mechanics, you know, the mechanics of having to get it done and basically, you know, hold the button down while you plug it in. In either case, point being, the board works fine. So just try that. I'm going to send this back to the customer now. Anyways, if you guys have any questions, please hit me up, cyclonefpv.com. You can use our contact page. Also, I would encourage you to please subscribe to our channel. We're growing slowly, and our new place opens next week. It'd be really great to just get a big following of folks that are liking the work, if you like what we do, okay? Other than that, God bless, be safe, and most of all, guys, make sure to spend time with your family. You never know how much time you have left, so go make the most of it. You can always fly later. Talk to you soon, guys. Peace.